Hey music lovers, I'm Tim Nichols. I am Generation X. I'm a Christian and I'm also a metalhead, or you could even call me a Christian rocker. And I want to talk to you about 10 CDs in my collection that are the most special to me. Now, these aren't CDs that present always my favorite music, although I do love the music on these. This isn't like a top 10 CDs from like my top 10 albums that I love. Maybe I'll do another video on that, but these are 10 CDs that are just meaningful to me that I've collected over the years that I thought I'd show you. So starting off, and these are also not in any particular order. It's not a 10 to 1 or a 1 to 10. This is just me showing them to you. But Skillet, they're self-titled. I love this. This was like really my first exposure to real Christian rock. I'd listened to like Christian contemporary and some kind of rocky pop stuff, but this, when I heard the song I Can and just heard the raw vocals and just the crunchy and grungy guitar, I was like, wow, this is incredible. Our youth group actually did a human video to I Can, this song. I just thought it was so great, but I love this. I don't know what the significance of the numbers. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a clock or whatever, but anyhow, this is a great CD, and I'd actually misplaced this and was really bummed by it, but later on I found it at, I believe it was McKay's in Nashville, so I was really excited to be able to purchase this again and really thought it was amazing. Here's another one from a band you've probably never heard of, and this is Omega Highway. And Omega Highway is kind of like an 80s sounding band. If you like a Foreigner where the man has more of the high-pitched voice, you're going to love this. It's just really technically sound music. And what's really interesting about this one is the recording is actually pretty rudimentary, which is part of what makes it really special to me. They did a remixed CD a little bit later that includes some of the songs that are more professionally recorded. But Mike Smith is a local pastor here in Elizabethtown, and the drummer of this band was actually the drummer at my church for several years. So just really cool stuff, and this is a great album. My favorite song on this album was probably No Greater Love. This is a little bit more mellow than their first album called Willing to Fight, but just amazing. And Mike Smith gave me this himself. Actually gave me a few copies because I was trying to find a copy and they were selling for quite a bit of money on eBay. I was kind of shocked, but yeah, this is a special one for me and I'll always appreciate it. The next one is Stryper, To Hell with the Devil, with the Angel, the shirtless angels, that became controversial. So controversial they switched the cover to the black cover. But this is special to me because it was given to me by a friend. His name is Steve, and he actually has a YouTube channel called Steve's Cool Stuff that I really recommend that you check out. But this was pressed in Germany, so this is really interesting. For some reason, this actually freaks out my first generation top loader CD player. I don't know why, maybe because of the way it was pressed, but anyhow, this is a really cool one. Love having this, and these are actually a little bit hard to find. The next one is also one I never thought I would own because it's difficult to find. That is Barren Rock for the King. I was actually in Cincinnati with my son. We were just kind of going to Half Price Books just out of random and just saw this thing sitting there. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. I'm thinking I only gave like $5 for it, and these are not easy to find, but this is a first pressing Rock for the King by Star Song. And Barren was just so in your face and so bold. They kind of scratched that heavy metal Iron Maiden itch. But this is a really cool CD and one that I thought I'd never own. This one's just special to me, probably because I found it on a trip to Cincinnati with my son when we were just hanging out, and it was just kind of a cool moment. This one actually has nothing to do with Christian metal or Christian rock. This is Cross Movement, and this is more of like a West Coast rap. And I remember we had like a little jukebox at a youth hangout we had in my church in Burkesville, Kentucky, where I was a youth pastor. And we had this album in the jukebox, and I heard the song I Am That I Am, and I was like, wow, this is great Christian rap, and I was pretty excited about it. So I never owned the CD up until now. That was back when we used to get files off the internet and download them until I learned that was illegal, and then I quit doing that. I deleted them and got rid of them. But I actually bought the CD. I think I found this at McKay's in Nashville. I found a lot of stuff at McKay's in Nashville, but this really brings back some great memories of my days as a youth pastor in Burkesville, Kentucky, and just really thinking this was the coolest thing ever. But next, this was really special because I bought this one. I bought this one off of Chaotic Resemblance's website. I'll never forget when I discovered them as a band. I'll put my interview with them on the end screen because I actually met them in person, but I really like this CD, but it's not as good in my mind as Covenant and Nazarites, but this is still like, if this was the only Chaotic Resemblance I'd ever heard, this would be pretty epic. It's just that Covenant and Nazarites are so good that this album just kind of pales in comparison. But actually, I just want to show you that one as a primer because this one is the special one. And the reason this one is special is because this is a gatefold, you call it a digipack. It works kind of like a vinyl. as far as its design. And Travis gave me this one because they don't make them anymore, because it has an older back on it. See, this one, you can see that they're different. And this is funny because this one was back when Travis was called Rex Rocks, when they were trying to be a hair band. And, well, I don't think they were trying to be a hair band. I mean, they were pretty convincing on it. But this one's just special because, number one, it's not available anymore. Number two, it was given to me by Travis. And number three, I love variants. I love CDs and albums that are a little different. And that's something that I collect. Coming in next is this really cool Audio Adrenaline CD that is autographed by the band. And what makes this so cool is the fact that I found this for $1 at Half Price Books. I couldn't believe it when I saw the signatures. And this is the signatures for the lineup of Bloom. So I was really thrilled to find this and just thought it was so cool that I was able to find an autographed Audio Adrenaline in the wild. I got this thing home, went to Hobby Lobby, immediately bought a frame for it. I have 2 copies of it, one to play and one like this, because I wanted to preserve those autographs. But Audio Adrenaline was a great band. Mark was a great lead singer. Unfortunately, he ended up losing his voice, but he did not lose his mission. He is doing incredible missions work now, and this is just special for me just because I found it for $1. And what are the chances of finding an autographed CD for $1? Now, another one that's special to me is Petra, Never Say Die, that's doubled with Washes Whiter Than, because there was a point where you used to not be able to buy Washes Whiter Than. And while it's not my favorite album, there are a couple songs that I really like on it. I like Magic Mirror, I like Yahweh Love, I love Taste and See. That's probably my favorite song on the album. This kind of has a rockabilly flair to it, so it's a little bit different if you're used to like the modern, especially John Schlitt era Petra, and even more of the Greg X Voles era Petra. But I love this because it gives you both options of Never Say Die as well, and Never Say Die has some amazing songs on it. That's the album where I think Petra found themselves. Angel of Light is probably the best song on this album. Praise You the Lord, I'm pretty sure that Greg brought over from E-Band. Also, this album has a song called Killing My Old Man. And what a lot of people don't realize is that song was written long before this album was put out, but they didn't put it on a record because Killing My Old Man used to sound like it was meaning killing my dad. Well, obviously it meant killing my old man, killing my old self, crucifying myself. So later on, once that language kind of faded out into the 80s, they were able to add it to an album, and I thought that was pretty cool. But this is interesting because later on, Girder Records actually released both of these CDs for the first time ever separately. I thought that was really cool. I bought them. They are remixed, so there is a little bit to that, but I just thought that was amazing. And then number 9 CD, which again, these are not in any particular order, and that is Theocracy, As the World Bleeds. Now, what makes this one special is this is the one that was pressed in China, so it comes with the OEI. I'm assuming these are the lyrics to the song in Japanese, perhaps, but I'm not exactly sure what this is, but I just thought it was super cool. But one of the really cool things about it is it comes with some bonus tracks. And one thing I love is I love to have physical media of every song I can get my hands on. And this one has I'm in a Cage, which is a cover of the Neil Morse Band. If you don't know who the Neil Morse Band is, they are an incredible kind of progressive metal band. Just really, really good stuff. It also has a live version of Martyr on it, so I love me some bonus tracks, and I also love me some foreign pressings. Before this next one, I'm actually going to give you the overhead view because I thought this was the coolest thing ever. And this is my Theocracy Mirror of Souls, and it's a booklet. Check this out, you all. So it's the booklet that has the lyric sheet in it, and it has some different pictures and themes in it. It took me a long time to find it. I ended up buying it from a guy in Denmark, believe it or not, and ended up having to pay overseas shipping, and this was a little bit more expensive than I'm used to spending on a CD, but I just thought this was the absolute coolest thing ever. And then you see the CD picture of the band, but then when you look at the back, you're going to say that it has a bonus track, Wages of Sin. And I just thought that was awesome. As I said, I love me some bonus tracks, and I love having them on physical media. I also actually have Wages of Sin on vinyl on a 45 as well. But Theocracy is one of my favorite bands. I love the fact that they do this progressive metal style. It's where you can get a little bit of thrash, a little bit of heavy metal, you get a little bit of symphonic metal, and just all sorts of music just blended into one. I Am is like a masterpiece of the blends of different metal. Laying the Demon to Rest is a masterpiece. And if I was going to say my favorite song on Mirror of Souls, I would say Laying the Demon to Rest is probably my favorite. That may be my favorite overall Theocracy song. It kind of changes as I listen, but anyhow, those are 10 CDs that are extremely special to me. What are some special CDs for you? Let me know in the comments. God bless you. Keep calm. Jesus on.